Ladies and gentlemen, in this episode we're discussing the role of the Egyptian women in politics, and especially during the coming elections, presidential elections. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with our dear guest, Dr. Iman Babers, chairperson of the Association and Development for Women, and also the international gender expert. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, Dr. Babers, now the role of the Egyptian women in politics have witnessed a significant print by the Egyptian women. So what is the role that the Egyptian women should play during the coming presidential elections on the political side, if the Egyptian woman is a member or something of any party?
Well, I'd like to start by saying that the last 10 years really has been the golden era for the Egyptian women on the legal, political, economic, social side. And this is very important. I also would like to say that politics is not only parliament or the cabinet, but also public life. Responding to your question to start with, this is our first time in our lives that the two houses, whether it's the Majlis Shuyukh, the Senate or the Assembly, more than 20% of the members are women who were elected, in addition to those who were appointed. For the first time, the cabinet has 17% of the ministers are women, in addition, of course, to the heads of universities, the governors, a lot of very important roles that the women are playing. I think women are important in any political discourse, but also very important in any election. As we have seen in the 2013 revolution, women were the majority of the people who went down, because women are always afraid for the future of the children. As women, we are, however successful we are, we're always worried that we want our young girls, our young boys, when they grow up, they grow in a country that is strong. And that's why their participation in the elections are very important. This is essential that we choose the person that we think has helped the country, is important for the country, has the knowledge, the experience, the patriotism that is important for us, especially that we are surrounded by a lot of problems, and we are under, a lot of pressures from people that are worried that Egypt is becoming strong, that Egypt has its own agriculture now, its own industry, that we are becoming a strong country. So we are really under a lot of pressure for those who do not want us to be like this. So I urge every young woman, every woman to go down. First of all, it's a right. This is her right. And it's her duty to go in and vote, because our voices must be heard. But I also would urge her to choose sensibly, because she has to understand that Egypt now is under a lot of pressure, threats of war, a lot of bad people trying to infiltrate. So you have to choose the person you think is the person who saved and will save Egypt.
Yes, so Dr. Babers, as you've just mentioned, the participation of the Egyptian women in the elections of 2013 and 2014, that was a very significant and historical step by the Egyptian women. In this date, 2013, we saw long queues of Egyptian women standing to cast their ballots, and that was a very attracting scene that was mentioned by the media sources, and all the journalists have wrote about this. So how do you see the importance of the role of the Egyptian women to be a role model of the importance of her participation, even if she's not a political figure or participating or a member of any party, even if she's not a working woman, her participation in casting her ballots and driving her family and making them keen to cast their ballots?
Actually, I think the real power in Egypt are these women you're talking about. The real power are the women that are in the rural areas, are in the areas that are not very rich, the people that might be educated or not. These are very smart women. They are much smarter than us. They work with their instinct, and they will go, and I would urge them and urge the young people to go and vote and cast their ballots, because Egypt needs every vote. And also because we have to have, we really need our voices to be heard. And women, I always say that if women rule the world, there will be no war. So women also have an instinct, and they understand what is good for the country more than anyone else. Because as I said, women care about their children. Women know what is good for their country, not because because it's an instinctive thing. They want peace, and they want harmony, and they want the country to be strong, and they're proud of being Egyptian. And believe me, whether she's educated or not, whether she has a position or not, whether she's working or not, the Egyptian woman is one of the smartest women in the world. So I have a lot of trust. But I would urge, I have a lot of trust in the normal Egyptian women, the masses of Egyptian women, because they know. I am urging the young girls. This is really where I'm worried. I want the young girls who are educated to understand that it is their duty and obligation to go down and vote, and to understand what they're voting for, and to vote because they care about Egypt. They vote because they want to protect and save Egypt.
Yes. So, Dr. Babers, also another thing that we'd like to speak to you about, not only the participation of the Egyptian women or the political figures of women in the coming presidential elections, also women and volunteering work, who volunteer in order to help and give hand during a special era in Egypt, which is the presidential elections.
Well, I think a lot of people are already volunteering. And actually, if you look around, you will see that the majority of the people that are now volunteering to advocate for a candidate or working on trying to raise awareness are mostly women, by the way. But I think I would urge also more women to volunteer. I think more women should be involved. I think, and as I said, this is a time where we are under a lot of pressure. There are problems in Libya, problems in Sudan, problems in Gaza. There is a lot of issues about, security issues. There is an economic issue because of the Ukraine war. So this is a time where Egypt needs every person in Egypt, women and men. But I would urge the girls, the young women, the girls, the mothers, the sisters, that if they care about the future of their children, they have to be involved. By voting, by being politically active, by raising awareness, by volunteering, by just being there for Egypt, because Egypt is history. Egypt is really like, it's before history. Egypt is our home, our mother, the hug, the love that we have to always be faithful to. So yes. I would really urge everyone, and especially young girls, women, young adults, mothers, sisters, whoever is there, to go down, volunteer, participate, support Egypt, because this is the only land we have and we love it.
Yes, so also, Dr. Babers, the importance of the women, the teachers at schools in providing information for their students in order to participate, and the importance of to have some knowledge and to know more about the presidential elections.
Well, I think, I don't know the system in the education, but I think every person in Egypt, every citizen, women or men, but of course women as they are the majority, whether she's a teacher, she's a trainer, whether she's in the youth centers, whether she's at university, everywhere, we have to understand that it is very important, and we have to urge our family, our relatives, our friends, our kids, everyone. This is really a duty of a citizen. You want to be a citizen? You want to have rights? This is one of your duties. The problem is we always think of our rights without thinking of our duties. Being part of supporting Egypt and proving to the world that we are all active, we're all participating, we all have a voice, and we're all going to be there for the elections is a duty for every Egyptian.
Yes. So, Dr. Babers, what are the preparations or the ways of organizing, getting ready for the coming presidential elections in non-governmental institutions here in Egypt?
Well, I don't know about all non-governmental, but what we always do what we do. Like we inform people that there is an election. We tell them how to go. We don't tell them whom to elect. but we tell them what they should do. We tell them where to go. We get them their number and see which school they're in so that they can go to it. We try to urge them not to be influenced by any person who's trying to give them money or anything. We try to explain to them that this is the role. So it's all about raising the awareness and the importance of it, helping them find where they're going to vote, showing them a pic, how you vote, so that if they don't know, like, you don't sign, you don't say, except you don't choose except one, you don't write anything on it. So all this information, because we work only in squatter areas and rural areas, and we're trying to tell them not to be influenced, by anybody who is going to act illegally, and that they have the right to voice for the future of their children. Yes. So this is what we are doing.
Yes. Also, the role of media in the coming period, and the role of papers and journals in the coming period for encouraging more people to participate in and cast their ballots in the presidential elections.
Well, I think there are some ads that I watch, but I also think that the announcement and the work in the media needs a little bit work, because they're talking, first of all, in sometimes difficult Arabic, and if you want the masses to go in, it has to be a little bit more simple, in the slang Egyptian language. It has to relate to the people. So, the advertisements are a little bit for educated people. Most of the advertisements on the TV that I saw are good. They're very good and well done. But it's really for people like me, like my son. But the majority of Egyptians, they need a little bit of a simpler language. They need a little bit of relevance, like how this is important for your kids, how this is something that is needed, how that you have to go because it is your right, stuff like that. But it has to be in simple language. This would be my advice.
Yes, okay. So, Dr. Babers, you are the chairperson of the Association of the Development of Women. So, give us an idea about the role of the association.
Well, generally, ADU, the Association for Development and Enhancement of Women, started in 1987. We were the first organization to provide microfinance and microcredit to women. We work directly in 12 governorates and indirectly in 24. We work on the grassroots level, so we provide microcredit, legal aid, health support, community mobilization, and the Girls' Dreams program, Arab Women Speak program. On the national level, we lobby for changes of law. So we were the ones who put the female heads of the household concept on the agenda of the government in 1999. We were able to spearhead the change of the nationality law in 2003. And we work a lot now on the marriage and divorce law, the personal status law. We're trying to make it more, we're trying to protect it, and we protected it so that it really reflects the religion in a correct way, but also supports, is for the benefit of the children, and we're trying to protect the children, really. So this is what we do. We work on the grassroots level, on the national level, and we work with more than 2 million women, and we've been doing this since 1987.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Iman Babers, chairperson of the Association of Development of Women, and also the international gender expert. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, short break, and I'm going to be back with you.